everyone. My name is Olivia Savage and I'm a digital media, marketing, and project manager here at Newswire. Welcome to today's Smart Start educational video on press releases. As a press release distribution company, it's easy for us to forget that sometimes not everybody understands what a press release really is or how it should function. Understanding how to craft a compelling press release and then how to distribute it is our bread and butter. So we're here today to help you gain a better understanding of what a press release is, what makes a good one, and how to utilize it to achieve your business goals. Here to help me explore all of these topics and more is my colleague, Maria Marhevka. Welcome back, Maria. How are you today?
Hey, Olivia, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to talk about all things press releases today.
Absolutely. So let's kick things off with the absolute basics and talk about what a press release is. What is a press release?
Yes, let's start from the basics and we'll start from the top. So a press release is a concise and newsworthy story that's typically written by a public relations professional, and it's distributed to targeted media sources, and it's really, you just want to announce something newsworthy. And the overarching goal with any press release is to get coverage from relevant publications and, of course, be noticed by your target audience.
So what topics do press releases normally cover?
The main topics that press releases usually covered are, the release of a special report, maybe there's a company milestone, if there's a new product announcement, maybe you're launching a new product, if you hired a new executive, adding new team members, expanding your business. Those are some of the common topics that you would cover. And like we said before, it's all about newsworthy information.
Okay, so it's safe to say that a press release is supposed to cover important information, but the way you present the information is equally as important, if not more so. How can someone make sure that they're covering all their bases when they are writing a press release?
Now, press releases, no matter the announcement, when written correctly, address the who, what, where, when, why, and how. These are commonly referred to as the 5 W's plus how, and they make up the foundation of the inverted pyramid. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the inverted pyramid, it's just a way for writers to structure their press release to make sure that the most important and newsworthy content is at the top of their press release.
This isn't like writing another piece of content where we might want to bury the most important or most exciting piece of information a little later. We actually want that right up front at the very top so nobody misses it when they click into reading the press release.
Exactly. You just want to really just give them the information that they want as quickly as you can.
So let's talk a little bit more in depth about the inverted pyramid.
Absolutely. So we're just going to start from the top here. And to really use the inverted pyramid in the way that it's meant to be used, it really is important to start with the headline. We actually talked about compelling headlines in a previous video. We included the link down in the comments, so if you want to check that out, but that is a great starting off point. The headline is going to serve as the foundation of the press release, and it really plays a major role in whether or not a person is going to click on your content. So once we have that headline situated, it's accompanied by a subheadline. And that is the line of text that can usually be found right underneath the headline. And that subheadline adds context to the message that you were trying to articulate in the headline. It's basically just a one-sentence summary of what a reader can expect from reading your press release. Now together, the headline and the subheadline, they basically set the stage for the messaging of the entire press release. From there, the first paragraph of the release, that's when we address the 5 W's plus the how. And including the most newsworthy content, like we said before, at the beginning of your press release is an important skill to master because studies show that only 70% of readers will read the first paragraph. So with that statistic in mind, that kind of drives home the point that newsworthy content has to be in the first paragraph if you want to articulate your message correctly to your target audience. Now, to keep your readers' attention, we've nailed down the headline, we have the subheadline, we have the first paragraph. Let's dig into the second paragraph. And this is a paragraph that should include supporting facts, statistics, any interesting details that can really complement the main announcement of the release. Now, the third paragraph, this is typically a quote from someone in the company, and it's going to provide further context to the reader. You want to make sure that your quotes that you create, they're concise, they avoid, salesy jargon, they're not fluff. They really provide value because more times than not, whenever a story is picked up, they pull the quote from the press release. So you really want to pay attention to the content you're creating there. Now, the final paragraphs of your press release should cover other background pieces of information to really round out that message. And lastly, every single press release that you create, it's going to include your boilerplate. And that's just basically a brief description of your company or organization. It just gives a little bit more context that you might not have included in the press release in a little section at the bottom of that release. And the good way to really think about a boilerplate is that it's just a condensed about us section. So it's going to just include high-level details about the company and definitely include a link back to your website in that section.
Okay, so for a company that's just getting their feet wet in writing and distributing press releases as part of a marketing and communication strategy, let's talk about some of the benefits of press releases when written and distributed correctly.
So press releases are super important, and I know that's a very cliche basic answer, but whenever you think about the time that we're living in now, people spend a large portion of their days online consuming content, and that's why it's important for companies to meet their target audience where they are so that they can, distribute the right message to the right audience at the right time. Now, like you said, when carried out correctly, press releases can be super valuable to help businesses earn media coverage. They can control their narrative and they can stay in front of their target audience, which are three major factors to building brand awareness. And by building brand awareness and staying top of mind with journalists and consumers alike, you're really creating a name for yourself in your industry. And the more people that know about your company for good reasons, the better it is for your business in general. Now, the second benefit would be credibility. The credibility you create is contingent on the value that you provide. So building that credibility through press release distribution, it requires you to really listen and understand your target audience and then act accordingly and build content to the data and the information that you've pulled. So the more you understand the pain points, the topics of interest, maybe the questions, the inner workings of your target audience, the better equipped you'll be to create messaging that speaks to all of those different characteristics and, deliver that value that is so important in any aspect of business. A third benefit would be search engine optimization. We've talked about this before and we'll probably continue talking about it because it is just so important to building an online presence. So press releases can create immense value when it comes to search engine optimization, but it really requires you to employ those strategies effectively and efficiently. So that means, identifying one keyword per press release, making sure that keyword is in the title, also making sure that it's in the first paragraph and kind of peppered naturally throughout the rest of the press release. That's a way to kind of build up that SEO juice that we need to kind of boost our rankings and show up in front of our target audience. If you're interested in learning more about search engine optimization, we covered this topic in a previous video, so we'll make sure to link that in the comments below so you can kind of dig into that topic a bit more.
So there is a little bit of an art to this. Obviously, anybody can take some of these tips and tricks and put together a really decent press release. But some folks really struggle with this, whether they experience difficulty with crafting the content, or maybe they just don't have the bandwidth to be able to put out things regularly enough to really serve their needs. What should a company or maybe a marketing manager do if they are finding themselves wanting to distribute press releases, or they have a bunch of newsworthy information, but they're struggling to distribute it and get it out there, not only in front of potential consumers, but in front of industry leaders and leading publications?
I would say the best piece of advice is just lean on an expert. And so that's where Newswire really comes into play, because our public relations experts, they take this part of your business and they run with it. It's a collaborative process, but leaning on that expertise, leaning on their experience in the industry and their connections with industry publications, and understanding really how to get your message in front of your target audience in the best, most efficient way possible is something that is super valuable for your business. And whenever whenever you work with Newswire, on top of, actually, writing the press releases, we're also helping you. We're sending pitches directly to journalists. We're managing the follow-ups. We're, ideating different topics that you can cover. It's just a total collaboration from start to finish to help you distribute the right message to the right audience at the right time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Maria. As usual, this was very enlightening. I hope everyone has a better understanding of what a press release is and how it should function when used effectively. And in the meantime, if you have any questions about press releases or how to partner with Newswire, please drop a comment below, or you can find us on social media or at www.newswire.com. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.
If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like down below, share with your network, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Newswire educational content. To learn more about Newswire's offerings, how to partner with us, and to explore our flagship Earned Media Advantage guided tour program, please be sure to visit newswire.com. At our website, you can also view our entire library of educational materials, including our Smart Start guides, white papers, case studies, and other relevant content that can help you reach your media, marketing, and press release distribution goals. Check it out.